So that's a banger right there. I will definitely play some more of this when the show is over. But he kills it, and this is a really good song, and it's factual. Okay, um, so I found this song and it was perfect for my podcast. I believe I did a show with one of his other songs on it too. Uh, but today we are going to talk about voter fraud and the Nick Shirley Act, who basically uncovers fraud. And the act, the Nick Shirley Act, that's kind of the name they give it. It's not exactly, that's not what the bill actually says, but we gave it the name the Nick Shirley Act because it's because of him they're targeting him. And basically, they want to either put him in jail or anyone in jail or fine them $10,000 to protect the massive fraud going on. They don't they oh they're doxing people and no they're not. No they're not. They don't put people's addresses out. They don't like they show them on camera, but he doesn't say their names. He doesn't put their addresses out. He doesn't do any of the things that this bitch in this bill wants to dox him for, which I don't even know how this happened because it's kind of infringing on his First Amendment right, freedom of the press. So uh, to say anybody that's an investigative journalist can't investigate fraud, and you would rather arrest innocent people than arrest the people committing fraud. You don't want to know that they're committing fraud, or you know, and you just don't give a fuck and you're letting them. It's insane. And this bill has already passed through one level already. Now it's going to its second stage. And I can't even believe it wasn't shot down from that. But it's okay because Nick Shirley brought enough attention to it already. So they basically, with this bill, they don't even realize it. But by going out of your way to do this proves that there is actual fraud. Because if there wasn't fraud, you wouldn't need to do this. Why would you need to do this? If you knew there was no fraud and this was all bullshit, you wouldn't be passing a bill to make it against the law for him to uncover fraud because there would be no fraud for him to uncover. So by making this bill, you're now putting a bullseye on your back because you're fucking stupid. And now you brought so much attention to it that now everybody's gonna start asking questions. You're a fucking retard. Period. And they call us the fascists. You're actually saying you're gonna put people in jail for reporting the news. That sounds like some fascist shit to me. But you say, Republicans are bad. Come the fuck on. Get the fuck out of here. I love how they're all fascists and no kings and all this. And everything the Democrats do is try to silence and get people that aren't criminals thrown in jail. They don't throw the actual criminals in jail. They let them out. They fucking illegal immigrants. They're, sanctuary cities and all this and whatever. Hundreds and thousands, billions of dollars of fraud. The taxpayers are paying for this. And all these people are sitting pretty, and we're all broke as fuck and can barely afford our houses. And then they tell you what to think and how to feel and what to do. And some of you people, I honestly don't know what's wrong with you. You're fucking dumb. Because for me, it's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about common fucking sense. Okay, I've always been a Republican for as long as I can remember, even when I was little, because I was around my uncle from a very young age, and he taught me a lot as a kid. And in my house, my mom was a Democrat at one point. Her man was a Democrat, and I would be the one that was like jumping around for George Bush at the time. And they were like, "Oh my God, that's because she's with my brother," blah blah blah. But it was never something that I was like hardcore about. I just liked one side, and there would be times where I would agree with some Democratic policies, and whatever. And if I like a candidate and they happen to be a Democrat and they make sense, I would vote for them. I'm not a flip flopper by any means, but if one candidate is better than the other, even though I may be Republican, I might vote for a Democrat because I am a logical person. There's not very many out there. I mean, I don't think my uncle would ever vote Democrat because in his he's more conservative. But I would, like if Stephen A. Smith ran for president and, you know, I didn't happen to like, you know, the, Republican, I would 100% vote for Stephen A. Smith because he's a Democrat that still has values, and those same values mesh with Republican views. He is against immigration. He thinks that immigration should be enforced and we need to get all the illegals out. He believes we need to stop the fraud. He believes that the Democrats need to get their fucking shit together and stop fucking shutting down the government every 5 fucking seconds and then fucking over the American people and not letting people who are at work, you know, not get paid because they shut down the government. He believes that they shut down the government, y'all don't get paid. Doesn't have nothing to do with us. Y'all don't get paid. And I bet you they would think twice about shutting down the government. So I agree with that. Now, if rumor has it that he might be running, um, and I'll be honest with you, I know JD Vance is probably going to run. I like him a whole lot, um, but that would be a hard thing for me to choose between him and Stephen A. Smith because I like Stephen A. Smith. He's got his values down. I mean, shit, he might as well just be Republican at this point because none of the Democrats think like him. And he says everything that conservatives are saying, but he's a Democrat. It's fucking insane. But, you know, it Gavin Newsom, I will never vote for him ever in my fucking life. Kamala Harris, thinking about running again from an interview I saw. Please, God, no. Don't run her again. Please, God. Like, I even said to my uncle, I said, if there was an election and I had to choose between Gavin Newsom and Kamala Harris and I couldn't vote for anybody else, I would vote for Gavin Newsom. And I fucking hate him. And he makes me sick. But um, I would never vote. She's fucking dumb. Kamala Harris is a fucking retard. And I don't believe that she should be president. I don't even believe a woman should be president, to be honest with you. Um, it's just women are too emotional. Fucking if we end up going to war with somebody, we got a woman in here. She's not thinking about drop a bomb on this motherfucker and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, like, oh, well, why don't we go over there and try to make peace? And all they want to do is kill us. They don't give a fuck about peace. And she's like, please, we don't want to do this. And, she all over the place with her fucking mood swings and shit. Um, I do not think that's one thing that we should not be equal on. Man and woman making the same amount of money, whatever, whatever. But a woman should not be allowed to be president, period. Woman can do everything a man can do except that job. Sorry, it's just never going to happen. And that's why 2 women that I've run haven't won. Because, first of all, America's not stupid and knows that these 2 women were shit. I mean, if there's a woman that comes up and she's tough as nails and, she's got everything going for her and she speaks like, you know, she gets to the nitty gritty of every question and whatever and so on and so forth, okay. Then, I would definitely think about it and be like, all right, this bitch is tough. Okay. But we haven't had somebody like that. And, Hillary Clinton, she's just a fucking lying ass bitch. And Kamala Harris is a walking word salad. She never answers your fucking question direct and to the point. She takes your question and then turns it into like, oh, well, you asked me about voting. Well, when I lived back in the day at my house, everybody used to have their lawns cut and right there, and all our neighbors were outside, and like that's like how she like goes, like I just made that up, but well, kind of, she did actually say stuff about manicured lawns and she would go outside and all this shit, to a question, and that was her stupid ass answer. So some of that was actually what she said, but not that was a made up thing. But that's how she answers questions. She never answers the question of what you said and gives you an answer for it. She starts saying something that has nothing to do with what the person asked and then goes on a fucking tangent and then ends it. And the person that asked the question is so fucking confused by the end of what she says that they don't even go, well, you didn't even answer my question. Because they don't know that she didn't answer the question because they're still trying to figure out what the fuck she even meant to say. And she still does it even now. Why would you want her to be president? And then people have talked like, oh, Michelle Obama should be president. No, she shouldn't either. She sucks too. Being president, you got to make hard decisions and decisions that are for the entire fucking country and sometimes the world. There's no fucking way a woman can do that. I have not seen a woman that was able to do that, Republican or Democrat. Now, if there's a fucking woman that is like totally fucking awesome and she blows my fucking mind, then, oh, all right, maybe I'll change my mind. But I am firm that a woman should not be fucking president. Period, point blank. And I believe America knows that too. And that's why Kamala didn't win. I don't even think half the people that voted even liked Trump, but they knew that they didn't want her as president, so they voted for him. That's just what I think. Now, most people love Trump. Anybody that's Republican is pretty much down for Trump. They have their problems sometimes with some of the things he does, okay. But like I was just hanging out with this couple at my girlfriend's house, and they voted for Trump, but they didn't like that Trump is going to war with Iran right now. And I explained to them it's something that just needed to be done. It needs to be done. That's it. We have to get rid of these fuckers. But they were not going to vote for Kamala. But I guarantee you, if it wasn't her running and it was another dude, I guarantee you their vote would have went to the other dude. I think they voted for Trump because he was the best choice out of the two. You know what I mean? Sometimes that's how people vote. You know, they may not like either candidate, but they're like, well, I definitely don't want her to be in the office, so I'm going to vote for him. There are probably a lot of votes that were like that. And there's times where people just, and I've even voted like that at a time or two. So, you know, you just, when it depends on who it is. And if you're not down with the one person, but the other person seems like a better choice, you're going to go with the other person. And trust me, we would have been, the world would be doomed if that bitch was in office. She better not even fix her gums to run the fuck again. I'm already disgusted that Gavin Newsom is going to try to be president. Like, oh my God. That's why I do hope that Stephen A. Smith runs, because he'll get more votes than Gavin Newsom, I think. First of all, he'll most likely get the black vote because he's black. So he'll have minorities for sure. Um, but see, I don't know about anybody else, because a lot of Democrats or libtards, I call them, don't like him because of what he said. He's a Democrat, but he has logic. He he he's not stupid. He would be the type of person that would work with President Trump and try to come to common ground. These stupid motherfuckers just want to fight him at every turn. Oh, let's try to get him impeached. Let's do this. Let's try to ruin him, and let's, try to make him look like a child PDF and all this shit. All they have to do is just work with the guy. You want something? Okay, talk to him. See if you can come to a common ground. But the things you want, you can't come to a common ground on. Oh, let's just let a bunch of illegals flood the border and we'll just house them, and they can get away with not paying any taxes, or if they're here they do have to pay taxes, and they can vote and whatever, and we can have these criminals all over the streets, and that is non-negotiable. That cannot happen. Without borders, you're not a country. Every fucking country in this fucking globe has a border. Like, do you guys remember 9/11 at all? You don't realize that those people slipped in, lived here, did everything they were supposed to do. They fitted in with everything. And then one day got on a plane and fucking rammed it into the World Trade Center. You have to vet these people. You can't just let randos here. Do you know how many illegal immigrants have killed people? We'll get to that in my next episode. Well, let me read my Bible. This is a good one. Make sure you listen. These also are sayings of the wise. To show partiality in judging is not good. Whoever says to the guilty, "You are innocent," will be cursed by peoples and denounced by nations. But it will go well with those who convict the guilty, and rich blessings will come onto them. So, so that's good, because what we're talking about is voter fraud, and this bill that they passed for Nick Shirley. Um, Instead of going after the people that are committing fraud, people who are guilty, they're going after the innocent. So, in God's eyes, you're a piece of shit and you're going to get what's coming to you. And people like Nick Shirley are going to have success and riches and are going to have God on their side. So think about that, because I randomly opened my Bible and that was the verse. And a lot of the times that happens to me. It's really weird. I'll touch my Bible, I'll open it up, and right then it goes with what I'm talking about. Sometimes it doesn't, but a lot more than half of the time I read my Bible verse, it goes with what I'm talking about, and that's crazy. Um, I put a Bible verse in my shoes because we've lost sight of God, and um, it needs to be brought back. Um, and the Democrats, I feel like they just have no faith at all whatsoever. I feel like they are demons, and their ringleader, as of right now, is Gavin Newsom, who I see as the Antichrist. 100%. I believe if he's elected president, it will it will be the end. The song that I was playing by Tom McDonald, he did another song, and he said, because the devil is a Democrat. We don't play that. We say that. Um, he actually has Gavin Newsom with devil horns on him. And oh my fucking God, if he doesn't look like the devil in this picture, you have to search it. Look up Tom McDonald and then search um, the devil is a Democrat and put Gavin Newsom in there. Use Tom McDonald, devil Democrat, Gavin Newsom, and I'm sure you can find the picture. Um, it is crazy how much he's like smiling really hard, and just the way his teeth look like, and then the red horns on his head, and the way his hair is perfect, and I mean he looks like the fucking devil, the devil, and uh, I believe that he is 100% a fucking um, antichrist, like for sure. So anyway, we're gonna talk about the Stop Nick Shirley Act. So California State Assembly member Carl DeMario is slamming the state Democrats for voting to advance a controversial new law, AB 2624, to silence citizen journalists and shield taxpayer funded organizations from public scrutiny. DiMaggio has gone as far as dubbing AB 2624 the Stop Nick Shirley Act for the chilling effect it will have on free speech. See, I told you, it infringes on his First Amendment right to speak. Um, AB 2624 comes as independent journalists like Nick Shirley have used viral videos to expose fraud and abuse in government funded programs using on the ground footage and firsthand documentation. AB 2624 claims to be about protecting immigrant organizations from threats of violence. Who's Nick Shirley? First of all, Nick Shirley is like the sweetest, meekest little kid I have ever seen. Like, I call him a little kid because I know he's way younger than me. And like honestly, I want to like take the kid under my wing and like hold him because I feel like when he gets attacked, when he's out, like I feel bad. Like if I saw Nick Shirley out and I saw somebody in his face, like I would fuck them up for him because I'd be like, no way are you messing with this kid right now. Like he's so small and his voice is so soft. Like, like what are you talking about? Threats of violence. He's the one that's been getting death threats since he did the Minnesota thing and exposed all that fraud there. He was the one that was on the news talking about all the death threats he was getting. And he had to move his hotel because he was getting threats and all kinds of stuff. Uh, Brandon Tatum, he's a podcaster. Um, I play some of his stuff on my show. I'm probably gonna have something of his on one of my other shows soon. Um, he actually gave him security. He the security that he uses for when he goes out and speaks to people. He set Nick Shirley up with his security because he was like, dude, you can't be going out there with nobody backing you. Like that, no, I can't. That can't happen, especially after Charlie Kirk. So he was like, "No way, I'm gonna set you up with my guys. You're gonna be good." And there was at one point he was almost attacked, and the security had to step in. So threats of violence, he's the one that's getting all the threats, but you're protecting the people that are threatening him, though, right? Right? Shut the fuck up. When in fact the legislation would apply to any left-wing group that claims to provide any service to legal or illegal immigrants. For example, under AB 2624, entities like the Somalian Leering daycare centers would be all covered if they operated inside California. See, that's ridiculous. So you're trying to jail an innocent person who's just uncovering something illegal, very illegal, and stealing the taxpayers' money, and not just like $20 here and there under the table. This turns into billions of dollars in fraud. And y'all are protecting them, which obviously means you're getting some kind of money for this. You're profiting off of this because why would you protect that? You don't want anybody to know you're in on it, is the problem. And why are we protecting places that are protecting illegal immigrants? Don't fucking come here illegally and you won't need protection. Come here legally. Do shit the right way. Get a visa. And then start applying to become a citizen. If your visa is about to run out, renew the bitch. Or go seek asylum. Tell a judge, hey, I can't go back. And they may let you stay and grant you more time, whatever. Like, I'm not a fan of any illegal immigrant being here. But as of right now, I want all the criminal ones to fuck out of here. The ones that came here illegally and they're busting their ass and working, I don't really care about. But, care about enough to seek them out just to get them out. If they're caught in a roundup of a bunch of people, then whatever, it is what it is. But to seek them out when we have all these criminals here is just stupid. They're like the bottom of the barrel. Once you get all the criminals out, then go for them. They shouldn't fucking be here regardless. Oh, but what if they need this and that? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And guess what? Legal immigrants want them fucking gone too. Probably more than me. I bet some of you are fucking retarded because you don't do enough research. I found videos of legal immigrants literally saying, "Get them the fuck out. I did it the right way. I'm here," and they're making us look bad. They make it so Nobody wants other, uh, you know, other Mexicans or other Puerto Ricans or other whatever. They make it so that Americans don't want us in their country because of what you guys do. That's not fair for us. You're taking our jobs. We're paying taxes and you're not. And you're taking our money to get state assistance. You're taking up our homes that we could have. And then you come here and commit crimes, which also make us look bad. Like, people don't understand. We're not saying we don't want legal immigration. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying, oh, well, if you're a Mexican, you can't come here, period. We don't want any Mexicans here. We don't want any Brazilians or fucking Portuguese or anything. We don't want nobody from any other countries. We don't want anybody here. Nobody's saying that. We just want you here legally. What is so wrong with it? Nobody's saying that they can't be here. They can totally be here. Why can't they just go about it the right way? And if you want more immigrants here, then make it easier for them to become citizens. And I don't mean easier in the sense of like the test they have to take. I mean easier as when they apply to do the whole citizenship thing, they um, get to see a judge right away. They go through these steps and it's quicker. It's not like, oh, you have to wait 2 years before, you know, fix, fix the immigration system. It's broken. It sucks. Make it so that it doesn't cost a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, you say you care about all these, immigrants. So why don't you make it easier for them to get here if you want them here so bad? Instead, you leave everything the same way and then just say, oh, just come in, just reach around. That's all. Just come in illegally. Fucking ridiculous. Um, so during a recent Assembly committee hearing, DeMaio directly confronted the bill's author, Mia Bonta, this fucking bitch, over language that would allow individuals affiliated with certain organizations to demand the removal of video recordings, even if taken in public, and even impose a costly financial penalties against those who publish the videos online. Which that is also a constitutional right, because there are people that go out on purpose and just film shit. So knowing that people are going to get mad about it and they act like a fool, and these people get the footage they want because these people are like, stop filming me. And they start flipping out. And then they always call the cops, and the cops come and they go, we can't tell him to stop filming in public. He can't film inside the establishment, but on the sidewalk, it's a public place. He can film whatever he wants to as long as he's out on the sidewalk. And then these people, some people get arrested because they go after these people, like they jump them or they rip their camera equipment and break it. And, some of these, the filmers have to pepper spray some of these people because they go crazy. And the cops always say we can't do anything. They can film out in public, and you can't do anything about it as long as they're not inside. And the only reason why Nick Shirley films inside is because they don't even know he's filming anyway. He walks in and he acts like, he's coming to bring somebody into the place, and then um you know they tell him whatever bullshit, and then he leaves. That's it. DeMaio warned the bill would be used to block investigative reporting and intimidate journalists, watchdog groups, and members of the public documenting wrongdoing. Um, California Democrats are trying to intimidate citizen watchdog journalists and protect waste and fraud happening in far left NGOs. AB 2624 can only be described as the Stop the Nick Shirley Act, a bill designed to silence citizen journalists exposing fraud and abuse of taxpayer dollars. So there is that. And then this one. Oh, this is the same thing. Well, that's okay because I have a lot of video. So now we're gonna start with this. I'm looking for the other video that I have. Oh my god, where'd it go? Oh, I found it. Okay.
YouTuber Nick Shirley calling out a proposed California bill that he claims would criminalize investigative journalism, including his viral efforts to expose fraud in the state.
Correspondent Heather Myers is live in San Diego with the details on this. Heather, good morning.
Good morning to you, Sean and Christine. The author of this bill, which is California Assembly Bill 2624, is Democratic Assemblywoman Mia Bonta. And if her last name sounds familiar, it is. In fact, her husband is the Attorney General of California, Rob Bonta. So Republicans have nicknamed this bill the Stop Nick Shirley Act, and it aims to, quote, protect the privacy and stop the harassment of those who provide services to immigrants. It would put into place restrictions around recording and posting content, including names and workplace or home addresses of those who taxpayer-funded organizations. Anyone who posts these videos or photo could be subject to a $10,000 fine, jail time, and even forced to take the content down. But critics are raising concerns about how far those limits could go. Nick Shirley, who built a large online following investigative alleged fraud, says the bill could end up criminalizing investigative journalism.
For instance, if this bill is passed, the Quality Leering Center that was in Minnesota would be protected from being exposed. That is absolutely crazy.
So Assemblywoman Mia Bonta says this is about protecting privacy and preventing harassment and doxing for the workers who work at these taxpayer-funded organizations who, again, provide services to immigrants. She says it's not about shutting down legitimate reporting.
Individuals who were investigating were journalists. This bill it ensures that we protect lawful free speech and opportunity for criticism.
California Democrat politicians not only won't do anything about the fraud, but they're going after the people who are trying to uncover these crimes and the waste of taxpayer money. It is shameful, and all of these politicians ought to be called on the carpet.
So this bill has already passed through the first committee, and if it does become law, Republican Assemblyman Carl DeMaio, who you just heard from at the end there, says this is sure to face a legal battle. Reporting live in San Diego, I'm Heather Myers. Christina Sean, I'll send it back to you.
Now that you basically heard basically what I had wrote or what I had read. And the Bonta bitch, she, her husband's the attorney general, so she thinks she can just do whatever and everybody just falls in line with her shit. Like, no, this needs to stop. We need to end this right now. You want to talk about fascism? That's the biggest fucking fascist shit I've ever seen. Like,
you're ugly. You are disgusting. I'm going to kill you. Give me $200.
That's exactly how I feel about it. Like, get the fuck out of here, you dumbass bitch. Here is the other video.
Fraud fallout continues. You might remember viral videos from Nick Shirley, the independent journalist who helped put a spotlight on fraud nationwide, including California's hospice center fraud. Last week, California Attorney General Rob Bonta took a victory lap, bragging about his state cracking down on massive fraud schemes in Los Angeles.
Operation Skip Trace uncovered and ended a hospice fraud scheme that defrauded Medi-Cal of $267 million.
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
What the fuck is that about? Okay, and then you hear how much money it is? That's how much money. $260 something million. But you want to stop Nick Shirley from finding out who these organizations are to help you determine to shut these places down. And instead, you want to silence him and act like it doesn't happen. Your husband is basically trying to dismantle fraud and you're facilitating it. That doesn't even make sense. Then this is where what I'm talking about, how women should not be in power. This is exactly why I opened with talking about that. Because they do dumb shit like this. She's in her fucking feelings and she wants to protect all the illegals and all her stupid ass bullshit. And, oh, you know, I feel bad for these people and all this shit. And, oh, I'm also getting my pockets lined by these motherfuckers too. So I'm going to try to get Nick Shirley arrested or anybody that's like Nick Shirley arrested instead of going after the people who are the criminals. You're a fucking idiot. Like, I would love to drop a bomb on you.
So just to be clear, $250 million. Over. Funds that are paid for by California taxpayers, funds that are meant to provide care to Californians in need. It is unacceptable, it is illegal, and we will not stand for it.
Too little.
And, yeah, this is just crazy. And there is, I mean, $265 million. Oh my God. You know what? Why don't I just open up a fake daycare center and fucking get the money from the state and whatever? Oh, you know what? I couldn't do it because I look white. They would want all kinds of information from me that none of these other places have to fucking give. Now, if I go in there with my head wrapped and fucking act like I don't speak a lick of fucking English, they'll give it to me.
Mr. Attorney General. Look, we're all for stopping fraud, but at the same time, his wife, Democrat Assemblywoman Mia Bonta, is pushing a bill critics say could make it harder to expose fraud. It's called the Privacy for Immigration Support Service Providers. Critics are calling it, though, the Stop Nick Shirley Act. What would it do? Well, it would let eligible individuals keep their home addresses confidential. It would also ban the sharing of photos or personal information that could lead to any type of harassment or harm online. And it allows victims to seek $4,000 in damages and it subjects the violators to fines of up to $10,000 or even a year in jail if you are found in violation of the Privacy for Immigration Support Service Providers. Critics say, though, it could complicate the on-the-ground investigations, right as California is ready or already dealing with massive fraud scandals. And a lot of those red flags were brought to light because people actually went out and looked. Fox News' William LaJeunesse visited a California home health center where the credentials of an 87-year-old doctor were used to bill for 29,000 non-existent patients. Fox News Digital uncovered $3.5 billion in taxpayer losses, over 1,900 hospice providers. That's more than 36 states combined. There were 112 of them at one location, one commercial building, and the average stay in hospice was over 3 months. Right, joining us now is independent journalist.
Now, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but it's in fucking sync. So now, on top of that in California, you also have voter fraud in California. And that's also fucking insane. And how are they doing this, may I add? they're going to Skid Row, which is LA, and then also targeting the homeless in San Francisco, which I have video of. And the guy starts bugging out. You'll see it's a black guy. But we're going to start with this one. Now, 9 people were charged in connection with voter fraud scheme in which homeless people in Los Angeles Skid Row neighborhood were given cash and cigarettes in exchange for fraudulent signatures on ballot initiative petitions and voter registration forms. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office wouldn't identify motive or details in the alleged scheme, but in May, Los Angeles, in collaboration with NBC News, discovered that initial allegations connected to 3 of the 9 suspects involved. This is voter fraud, which we talk about and we know exists, but it isn't exactly something that patrol officers deal with, quote, LAPD Detective Megan Aguilar said. 5 of the defendants were arraigned Tuesday and pled not guilty. Of course. Come on, why is this so slow? The initiatives promoted by the suspect fraudsters include statewide measures to reduce the number of felons considered nonviolent and to increase income tax on millionaires and property tax on business owners. The case was still under investigation by the FBI and Los Angeles Police Department. A number of suspects remain outstanding and subject to arrest warrants. The felony complaints against the 9 include allegations of circulating a petition with false names, voter fraud, registering fictitious persons, and registering non-existent persons. In the statement, the district attorney's office said suspects offered money and cigarettes to homeless people on Skid Row in exchange for false and forged signatures on ballot petitions. The case comes as national discourse over voter fraud heated up in November. President Trump, who has in the past alleged millions of bogus votes that were cast in 2016 presidential election. The voter fraud has led a movement in conservative states to enact strict identification and address requirements, a move described by critics as voter disenfranchisement that disproportionately affects the poor and people of color. Which is people of color? No, it doesn't. You think black people don't drive cars? I don't really know any black people that don't drive cars, to be honest with you. Them motherfuckers don't like walking. And they'll do anything to get a car. They'll either have a beat to shit one, or they'll be selling drugs to get the fucking hottest fucking Escalade, or fucking Lincoln, or Tesla they can fucking find. So I'm sick of hearing, oh, people of color, people of color all have driver's licenses, okay? I've never come across one, I'm half black, I've never come across one black person that does not have fucking ID. Never. If black people want fucking Dutches and fucking cigarettes, they got fucking ID. They want their E&J and fucking their Hennessy, they have ID. So let's just cut the bullshit here. And everybody has a bank account. You need ID for that. A lot of fucking people of color work, which you need ID for that too. Like, what people of color are you talking about? Are you saying that there are that many people of color that are just out in the street with no ID, no proof of address, just living on the street? Because I don't really see a lot of black people that are homeless. I see more white homeless people than I've ever seen black. There may be a couple, but more predominantly white people and illegals are living on the street. more than black people. So cut the shit with this. Oh, it affects poor people and people of color. Even poor people have IDs. It doesn't cost money to get an ID. I don't remember ever paying for a driver's license. And that could have been because when I did get my driver's license, my mom was with me, so maybe she paid for it. And then anytime after that, I was just getting my license updated, and I didn't. I don't think you have to pay for that. I don't think. I don't remember paying for it, but you know, if you have an ID, the only thing you have to do is keep up with it when it expires. Other than that, you have an ID for fucking years. Like years. It's not like every year you have to keep going back. Like you will have that ID for like 5, 6, 7 years. Like, please stop. Poor people. First of all, I don't think poor people are voting in an election any fucking way. I don't think the homeless on Skid Row in LA are rushing to a voter booth because, they care who's president. They don't give a fuck. Poor people aren't voting. Period. Now, people of color may vote. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. But you say that like, you want to say poor, fine, but you don't have to say people of color. That's ridiculous. That's saying, oh, they're too stupid to go get an ID. They don't know how to get an ID, which is ridiculous. Because I guarantee you, if I went out and took a microphone and went to a predominantly black neighborhood and went around and asked every single person there, do you have ID? In 3 different neighborhoods, I guarantee you every single person that came out and said anything to me would say, yes, I have an ID. So Democrats in California continue to pretend voter fraud doesn't exist. Matt Fleming, spokesman for Republican Party of California, said via email, however, this incident highlights the need for more investigation of claims. So I'm going to go over my time on this. Here we go. Now, this is from San Francisco. The state investigators are asking the video, blah, blah, blah. Noise watched as they paid the homeless to sign other people's name on petitions for ballot measures. The security of our election process is a sensitive topic right now. This guy broke out his martial arts skills after Noise asked about the petitions spread across the hood and dashboard of his car. I'm going to play you the video so you don't have to read that. We've had difficulty identifying the gentleman and the woman with a young child, but we saw them give money to homeless people who signed their petitions at their car earlier in the day. The Tenderloin Cafe owner and neighborhood advocate J.J. Smith put on his glasses to document what they were doing. The couple offered $5 for signing 10 petitions. The woman explained, "It's right here, Joshua." But they instructed Smith to sign someone else's name, and he refused, saying, "That's not my name, though." "Oh, no, I can't do somebody else's name. I'm sorry." Smith told the I-team, and it dawned on me, that's not legal. That's not right. Smith tells us he has seen different groups over the past few weeks cash for phony signatures on petitions. He sees it as taking advantage of the homeless, the people who are given the $5 they're giving them $5 to go buy them some drugs. They're preying on the homeless and getting drug addicted people. The petitions we saw on that dashboard come from Building a Better California, an effort that would require government audits of proposed taxes that could block the billionaire's tax. Building a Better California is funded by Google co-founder Sergey Brin, former Google Eric Schmidt, venture capitalist John Doerr, and Stripe co-founder Patrick Colson, among others. The spokesman Molly Wheaton says our campaign has a strict zero tolerance policy against any form of fraudulent activity. She said they've contacted law enforcement and will take action against the petition circular once they identify him, preventing those petitions with phony names to be submitted. At that point, we walked away and the couple left in their car shortly. Noyes caught some of the names being signed by the homeless that day. He spoke with one employee from Google who was very surprised. He now lives in New York and found a lady who died in 2009, but her name still got signed on that petition. That's insane. That is so insane. And I'm about to show you the video. Hold on. Oh, I gotta get rid of this one. I don't even know why that was still in there. Okay. So here is okay, here it is.
California Democrats have been caught paying homeless people for ballot signatures.
Petitions right there on the
So
street.
what? They right there. They mine.
They're yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you paying people? Are you paying people?
I ain't paying nobody.
State investigators want to look at this video you're watching of the ABC 7 Eyewitness News I-Team Dan Noyes confronting a couple in the Tenderloin. Dan was there as they allegedly paid the homeless to sign other people's names on petitions for ballot measures. The security.
And by the way, this guy is also trying to hit the journalist. He's trying to smack his camera out of his fucking hand.
Election process, certainly a very sensitive topic right now.
Yeah, Dan joins us right now with a story from the I-Team. Dan, explain this.
Well, Dan and JR, I was in the Tenderloin last Friday on a different story, looked up and saw that car with petitions spread over the hood. I had to find out why.
I can touch you I want to touch.
This guy broke out his martial arts skills after I asked about the petition spread across the hood and dashboard of his car. I'm with ABC 7. I'm looking at the petitions.
They right there. What's going on?
That's all I'm doing. I'm looking at the petitions.
What you looking at them for? You illegally looking at them, though.
It's illegal?
Yeah, illegally. You violate my personal property, my privacy rights, brother. You violate my privacy rights. Stay away from my car.
If you can see
You
this on the
violate
street.
my privacy rights.
If you can see this on the street.
If you can see what on the street?
I can see those petitions right there on the
So what?
streets.
They right there. They mine.
They're yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you paying people? Are you paying people?
I ain't paying nobody.
I've had difficulty identifying the gentleman and woman with a young child, but I saw them give money to homeless people who signed petitions at their car. Earlier in the day, Tenderloin Cafe owner and neighborhood advocate J.J. Smith put on his video glasses to document what they're doing.
You get $5 for doing it? Mm-hmm. Which one? Can you write Neely? You write Neely? Yeah. Do her. Do hers?
The couple offered $5 for signing 10 petitions.
It's right here. J-O-S-H.
Come back.
But they instructed Smith to sign someone else's name.
That's not my name, though. Yeah, never. Oh, no, I can't do somebody else's name. I'm sorry. That dawned on me right. Like, that's not illegal. That's not right.
Smith tells me he has seen different groups over the past few weeks offering cash for phony signatures on petitions. He sees it as taking advantage of the homeless.
Then the people who they're giving the $5 to, they're giving them $5 to go to buy them some drugs with. They're preying on the homeless out here and drug and get the people.
The petitions I saw on that dashboard come from Building a Better California, an effort that would require government audits of proposed taxes and could block the billionaire's tax. Building a Better California is funded by Google co-founder Sergey Brin, former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, venture capitalist John Doerr, and Stripe co-founder Patrick Collison, among others. Their spokesperson Molly Wheaton said, our campaign has a strict zero-tolerance policy against any form of fraudulent activity. She said they've contacted law enforcement and will take action against the petition circulator once they identify him, preventing those petitions with phony names from being submitted.
I'm saying you don't have a right to copy me. Period.
Are you paying people to sign those petitions?
Anybody to do anything? Do you see anybody around me?
The man was not happy about my questions or about having his picture taken.
You cannot copy. Matter of fact, dog, I don't care. Do what you got to do.
No.
You can't copy me, bro.
At that point, we walked away, and the couple left in their car shortly after.
So when you look at something like that, is anybody really surprised why so many people have so many questions about the integrity of elections in this country, particularly in these Democrat-run states like California and like New York? So what you just saw is basically corruption at the most basic level, right? So now this guy is trying to get signatures for a proposition to be put on the ballot in November. I guess this is anti the billionaires tax. And look, everybody knows that even if California does do the billionaires tax, here's the thing. A lot of these people are fleeing California for this very reason. And because they know that the only thing that they want to do with this billionaires tax is just like find another way to steal and waste money, because that is.
Booyah. Now, what's funny is this guy, he's talking all this shit and, he's, trying to hit the guy. Oh, it's illegal to do this. And you're fucking committing a fucking crime right now, bro. Like, what the fuck do you mean? And let me tell you one thing. If I was fucking homeless and somebody wanted my fucking name, I'd be like, I'm not doing that for $5. You better give me like $40 or $50 because you're using my name for God knows fucking what. And if some shit goes down and my name is on it, they're going to come looking for me and not you. You'll get the fuck away. So if I'm going to risk my neck and fucking you want me to sign that, you're going to give me more money. And then what I would do is I would go up to every fucking homeless person there and say, don't accept $5 from them. You tell them that they have to give you more money if they're going to be using your fucking name. Because if shit goes down and it's your name on the paper, the cops are going to come for you, buddy. So I would say you want to give them a number. I wouldn't tell them what number, but I would be like, give them a good number that's more than $5 because they need you. You don't need them. You were homeless and broke before they came along. They just happen to come along now and offer a couple dollars because $5 ain't getting you shit. $10 will get you a bag. You can't even buy an alcoholic beverage for $5. So not only are you trying to scheme on these people's fucking names, but you're not even giving them enough money to do anything with. So let me. Then in Virginia, they're doing some fucking thing where your vote doesn't even matter. Here, take a listen to this.
If you live in Virginia, your vote no longer counts. I hope you all understand that's what HB 965 just did to you. Because HB 965 very clearly states that the electoral votes for Virginia will not go to the person who Virginians vote for. No, it will only go to whoever wins the national popular vote. So even if every single one of you in the state of Virginia vote for a particular candidate, your electoral votes will not go to that person unless they win the national popular vote. So your vote no longer matters. Your governor, Abigail Spanberg, has just decided that she does not give a fuck who you want to vote for. No, she is going to take the electoral votes and give them to whoever wins the popular vote. So she has taken away your constitutional right to decide who you want to be president of the United States, because your opinion to Democrats doesn't matter.
Now, tell me that's not fucking insane. So you basically aren't getting to vote because whoever is winning the popular vote, that's where your ballots are going. So if you voted for the other guy and he didn't win the popular vote, or he's not winning the popular vote, your vote's not going to go to him. It's going to go to the person that you didn't vote for. What the fuck is that about? And that's Virginia for you. And y'all want to keep putting these Democrats in power everywhere, and then complain when shit sucks. But then you blame Republicans, and then they blame Trump. Everything sucks. Blame Trump. Trump has nothing to do with your state sucking. Your state sucks because of the government you have in place in your state. Do you not understand that? Trump is the president of the United States. He can only do stuff on a federal level. The stuff that's happening in your state that's sucking has nothing to do with Trump. That has to do with who you elected to run your state. So your mayor, your governor, your attorney general, your Supreme Court leaders, whatever. Or wait, Supreme Court? No, I don't think every state. Does every state have their own Supreme Court? No, I think there's just one Supreme Court. So erase that. But like I said, mayor, governor, attorney general, prosecutor, judge, all those people are sheriff. All those people are voted into place by you. So if your state sucks dick, why are you blaming the president? I hear a lot of people that do that. They're like, oh, because of Trump, we don't get this and we don't get that. You're dumb. Trump has nothing to do with any of those things. Trump can only enforce things that are federal. He can't run your state for you. Now, he can fucking send ICE into your state and clean up crime and shit, but also he does need the government in place there to work with him so that it doesn't end up like another Minnesota. But if you got illegal immigrants running rampant in your state and all this stuff, you need to blame your government because it's not Trump. It's your people you elected to be there. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And then I have one more video.
Is exposing elections fraud in the state of California. New videos showing some of the homeless population being bribed with cash and drugs in exchange for registering to vote and signing election petitions. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us in this group who took this video, Jeff. They shared over 24 times. It appears to show cash exchange for ballot signatures and registration forms. Tell us more.
So in the nearly half-hour video, independent journalist James O'Keefe and his team are seen posing undercover on Skid Row in Los Angeles, all in an effort to expose election fraud, including what appears to be people being encouraged to use fake addresses to sign petitions and register to vote. From fake addresses to bribes, independent journalist James O'Keefe and his team recently went undercover along LA's Skid Row to expose election fraud in California.
After 9, they're going to give you an additional one more sign. After that one more, you get $3.
But what is that petition for? You know what the petition for? You're getting $3.
O'Keefe says in the nearly half-hour video, they captured 28 times state non-governmental employees encouraged the homeless to use fake addresses in order to sign petitions and register to vote.
I put it as my address. Yeah, just put up. You live on
Oh, good.
In this video, we captured it 28 times over the course of a few days. That means it's happening tens, if not hundreds of thousands of times.
On hidden cameras, petitioners admitting they're paid between $7 and $10 per signature, but it is a federal crime to provide false information on a voter registration form or offer payment.
Now, because you haven't registered, I need to register you so I can get paid too.
Okay, you guys, I need to get paid. Come on, man.
The video also highlighting the LA Homeless Services Authority, who distributes federal money to Weingart Center, a homeless service in LA. A LASA employee being caught on camera directing people to where fraudulent petitioners were located and coaching plausible deniability.
Go to Skid Row and see if there's people out there with clipboards.
In response to the reporting, state leaders, including the first assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District of California, acknowledging what's being shown, writing on X, quote, "I want to assure the public that this DOJ, under the leadership of Attorney General Pam Bondi, will aggressively pursue anyone and everyone involved in violating federal election laws." The LA District Attorney's Office also responding to O'Keefe, "Our office received your complaint and will open a file for preliminary review." Plus, Governor Gavin Newsom, his office writing, quote, "Anyone caught engaging in this activity should be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law."
And I think that's why Newsom is putting out the statement he's putting out. I think because he knows he's going to have to do something on this.
Now, this investigation comes as the state of California is already being looked into by the Trump administration surrounding alleged hospice and home health care fraud. Independent journalist Nick Shirley also recently releasing a video claiming to have found over $170 million in state fraud.
Bob?
Well, there you go, people. Hold on. So, I mean, it's insane. There's so much fucking fraud going on that California has. I mean, not only are they fraudulent with these daycare centers and hospice and all this shit, but they're also committing fucking voter fraud. And I really, really hope that the SAVE Act gets passed. Or at least somebody goes in and shuts this shit down. Oh, hold on. I have one more video.
Nick Shirley exposed some more fraud in California, but a lib told him, oh, it's just a MAGA conspiracy.
Gloria voted in the last election. She's 100 years old.
Yeah. Born in 1925. Still kicking.
What do you think about over 30 people are registered to vote in this UPS store right here? Is that a little strange to you?
Is it through PO boxes?
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you trying to do, or what are you trying to prove?
Yeah,
So you have to re-register where you live, right? Where your primary residence is. And so if you've got a primary residence that's a UPS store, there's a real tiny houses, inside the UPS store for people to live in.
What's your guys' affiliation?
My name's Nick
citizens.
Shirley.
Yeah.
Could you live inside a PO box?
No.
So do you think it's a little strange that here in California you have lots of people who are registered to vote from these PO boxes? Meanwhile, you don't even have to show your ID when you go and vote.
I don't want to be part of the whole MAGA storyline. Thank you.
This isn't a MAGA storyline, ma'am. This is just a straight up fact.
Okay, so this is...
Are you kidding me? You're blaming MAGA for that? So you don't think it's wrong? Oh, I don't want to be a part of the MAGA storyline. What the fuck? Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
Stupid. I'm not going to let you get the chance.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You think that's okay? See, they're so they have Trump derangement syndrome so bad that even illegal shit they are okay with because it goes against Trump. Because they're like, oh, well, they're committing fraud. Well, that's okay, because we don't like Trump. So if it's fraud, like, I don't know, we just don't like Trump. Like, are you serious? This is the problem that I have with you guys. Like, you have no common sense, and anybody that's aligned with that. You can be a Democrat and not be like these fucking bleeding heart liberals that no matter, even if they're dead ass wrong, they will sit there and defend it and say, oh, well, we just don't like Trump. That's insane. You don't like somebody that much that you're committing crimes and you're defrauding people and you're trying to cheat in elections and all kinds of shit. Like, you're okay with that? Would you, let's put it this way. Would you be okay with it if Republicans were doing it and not Democrats? Would you be okay with it then if you found out Republicans were cheating, you found out Republicans were taking all your money? If you found all that out and Republicans were doing it, would you still feel like you feel right now? Oh, I don't want to be part of the MAGA conspiracy. And he's like, what the fuck are you MAGA? This has nothing to do with Trump. This has to do with voter fraud, ma'am. Like, what? Wow, she is a fucking idiot. And right there explains everything I talked about in the beginning of this video and why women should not be president because they're emotional. Instead of her going, oh yeah, that's not good at all. Her disdain for Trump makes her feel like it's okay for people to commit fraud as long as it goes against Trump. So by any means necessary, take out Trump. That's insane. What the fuck? Two women are too emo. Oh my God, he's a rapist and he's a PDF and oh my God. First of all, Trump is not a rapist, okay? If he was a rapist, he would be in fucking jail. He's not a fucking rapist. Most rapists don't just rape one person and never do it again. Most rapists continue to rape until they get caught. Yes, he was found civilly liable for defamation, I believe, and whatever. But E. Jean Carroll went on the news and said, rape is sexy. This is the person that fucking tried to take all his money. And Trump is not a pedophile. I don't know where the fuck they got that from. Oh, the Epstein files. Da, da, da. Trump's the reason why Epstein got arrested in Florida to begin with. What the fuck are you talking about? Epstein was trying to pick up his girls at Mar-a-Lago, so he banned him from Mar-a-Lago and went to the police and told them, this guy's a fucking perv. You need to do something about it. And that got the ball rolling on Epstein. So if he was doing something wrong, why would he rat him out? That doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah. And by the way, if you watch the news, Epstein's own lawyer came out and said Epstein had nothing on Trump. He said, I asked him, I said, give me what you have on Trump. And I could probably get this thrown out. I could probably get you a lighter sentence, whatever. We got to have something. And he said, I can't give you anything on him because he never did anything. And Ghislaine Maxwell said that he was a lovely guy in a recent interview she did. And the victims all said Trump never did anything and that Trump was a nice guy. So what the fuck are y'all talking? Do y'all even like hear shit? Or do you just, oh, we saw Trump's name in the Epstein file. That's it. That's it. He did something. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's the shit I'm talking about. You white liberal women are fucking ruining the entire country. That fucking little fucking thing she just did, that just proves everything I said. A woman should never be president. A woman needs to get back into the fucking house, have babies, and do what they were put here to do. Because that's what you were here to do. Create life and shut the fuck up. At some point, I don't even believe women should have the right to vote. Because look how dumb they are. Now, it would suck for me because I'm not fucking stupid. I would be kind of pissed if I couldn't vote. But some of these women don't deserve to vote. That was a complete fucking idiot. She was dumb. Oh, you can commit voter fraud because I don't like Trump. Shut the fuck up. That was the dumbest thing I ever heard. Get back in the fucking kitchen and do your fucking job. That's your job. Ugh. Well, anyway, that is the end of this show. And I will be back tomorrow with another banger episode. And trust me, this episode is going to be crazy. We have a lot to talk about. And it is also gross, so I'm going to say discretion is advised. So have a good rest of your day and night. And here you go.
You don't think you are, but don't donate money to pharma. Don't okay, that's cool. Y'all are so said that they be slow.